It's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the floor. You really about to do it? 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music. You really about to do it? Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. They get on it like that. Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm right through the back like that. What's that? Hold up. Deep out in the rack. He a freak though. Man, damn, trying to ever lamps. Tell him breathe. Let them boys to the cross. They walk around like teaks. What's up with these?
So that right there is Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett doing a TikTok video to a Kendrick Lamar song, who's the guy who performed at the Super Bowl, about how you can't fake influence. Now, of course, this was in the lead up to Trump's joint address to Congress, his first speech of this kind. That is not technically a State of the Union because he hasn't been in office for a full year. Yes, there's a distinction, however petty that distinction is, and this has caused, along with her other antics, a lot of people to label her the most ghetto member of Congress or ghetto Barbie or something of the sort. But the fact of the matter is, nothing could be further from the truth. In this video, we're going to talk about all the different ways that Jasmine Crockett has been making an ass of herself, but I'm also going to explain to you that the speaking cadence that she utilizes as a member of Congress is completely and totally fake. This is somebody who grew up in an incredibly privileged background. She has multiple university degrees, and of course, she went to a private K-12 school that costs more than most of you, including me, paid for our entirety of college in just 1 year. It's absolutely crazy how Democrats get away with this time and time again, and I think it's important that we talk about this. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me up, because I'm ready to get on with it.
So right there, that was Jasmine Crockett, and she was sounding pretty incomprehensible during her conversation with this person in the media. She was also incredibly vulgar. She decided to swear in this particular thing, which, by the way, is a thing that all the Democrats are doing in unison, sometimes word for word, releasing the same statements about the evil orange man because they're coordinating this message, and they believe that speaking in a vulgar tone, using swear words, somehow denotes a level of authenticity, not realizing that when you all coordinate it and you're all saying the same thing verbatim, that is the least authentic thing that you can possibly do.
I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That's what you just heard. And a lot of people have taken to the fact that Jasmine Crockett talks like this as a member of Congress to label her ghetto or trash or all the things that we talked about in the open. But make no mistake about it, this is just not the case. This girl grew up incredibly wealthy. She is educated and went to private schools.
And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't. You know, we showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do, for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat in which she currently serves. So she honored his legacy. This is the message that she wanted to send today. We've got my sis, Andrea Salinas, and she kept it real simple. Resist. That's what we about.
And unsurprisingly, her black scent, the cadence that she's using now that she's a member of Congress, is not how she normally speaks. It's not how she spoke before. It is a new development, not even at the start of her political career, but specifically at the start of her congressional career. And that's what we're going to discuss, and I'm going to prove to you throughout the course of this video.
How about that? It's zero. And I know people gonna feel away. Listen, all I do is give y'all facts. So you come back to me when you don't get that check and say, Jasmine, you were right. Just like y'all want to get out there and say all kinds of, other stuff. But come back, because you're getting zero. I know these people. I work with these people. These people is not about this life, and they don't care about you.
So this comes from a tweet from a guy called Todd Starnes, and he says, quote, Jasmine Crockett wants you to think she's from the hood, that she grew up on the streets. The exact opposite is true. She attended an exclusive day school where tuition was nearly $35,000 per year. She also attended Rhodes College, a private school where tuition is nearly $55,000 per year. She's cosplaying as a gangster. her. And in the replies, we actually have an excerpt from her bio where it says she graduated from the Mary Institute, the St. Louis Country Day School in St. Louis, Missouri, and has a BA from Rhodes College, Memphis, Tennessee from 2003, attended Thurgood Marshall School of Law and Texas Southern University, Houston, and she got her Juris Doctorate, which is what you need in order to be a lawyer, at the University of Houston Law Center in Houston, Texas in 2006. She was also a lawyer in a private practice and a public defender for Bowie County, Texas from 2007 to 2010, and then a member of the Texas State House of Representatives. Now, tuition at the school as of 2024 to 2025 is $25,000 from pre-K to 4th grade, $30,000 from 5th grade to 6th grade, and of course from 7th to 12th grade, it is $35,000. Now, let's be clear about something that I think is unfair in the original tweet and this follow-up tweet, which is they're using the cost of the tuition as of right now, as of the most recent year, and not actually accounting for the fact that it would have been lower when Jasmine Crockett was attending, but still would have been more in terms of raw dollars than many of you would have spent on your regular university education. Like me, myself, I went to public universities in order to get my education, a community college, then I went to a 4-year institution in order to get both of my criminal justice degrees, and in no way, shape, or form was I spending this amount of money on my tuition when I was in university. But again, to be fair to Jasmine Crockett, this prestigious elementary through high school that she went to, that she attended, likely did not cost this amount of money at the time that she was attending these schools. Everybody understand that? Everybody get that? You following what I'm saying? That being said, you would think that somebody who attended these schools, isolated from the hood, isolated from the streets, would not speak in such a hood, trashy cadence that you would expect from lower class individuals.
Where's Maxwell? We got Max. No kings live here, okay?
No kings,
yeah, we
no
sending a
fascists.
message. We sending a message. We've got President Musk. Y'all saw the camera just flash to him, you know, because this is really his administration. And we got another resist. Listen, and mine is let me get you, Jazz. Let me get you, Jazz.
Shirley Chisholm, the ultimate unbought and unbossed. That's right.
But here we have this much older Jasmine Crockett speaking in this cadence, talking to the public in this way that has been described by many as a ghetto accent. Now, I happen to know people that do talk like this. I know people who work good jobs that talk like this, but obviously this is indicative of growing up in the South, growing up in a lower class black household in the South, and to pretend that is not the case is absurd from top to bottom. Typically, private school educated people do not speak in this way. They don't engage with other people with this kind of dialect, and that is just a reality. And guess what? It's a reality for Jasmine Crockett as well. The redheaded libertarian actually posted about this a while back, where she had clips of her when she was not a Congress member before she spoke like this, and you could tell her cadence completely different.
In my mind, I'm thinking, I just got to Austin and I had to meet 5 people to get here. I don't know about this.
I mean, guys, just listen to that tone of voice. Listen to that cadence. Listen to her describing going to Texas and beating somebody out for a specific position while she is not a member of Congress, while she's not on the House floor, while she's not in meetings, and you can just hear the difference. It's ridiculous. It's an insane transformation. And one of the funniest things about this compilation put together by the redheaded libertarian, thank you, Josie, by the way, for doing this. It took me a minute to find this, is you have the way that she spoke contrasted to the way that she speaks now, and nothing could be more ridiculous than hearing this back to back.
So y'all don't know what white privilege looks like, but I'm gonna show you a little bit of something.
It's a huge responsibility. You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down. Calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do.
And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services.
They send them to Texas, they send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
There was someone that talked to me and said, in fact, a former ambassador in the Clinton administration.
Please calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk noise and then
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
He said, Jasmine, what you have to realize is that if you are really going to make change, it's not going to be in the Texas House. He said, you did a great job playing defense, but you have a chance to play offense.
If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
I had no idea what you just said.
The management, so to speak, changes. It's not just always one party that has everything.
I did it first.
Voted to do
Y'all
it.
did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
He said, if you really want to make real change, you really need to consider it.
If I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send her
talk
outside
shit
to take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Now look, there are a lot of people out there who will defend this. They'll say that this is just code switching. This is just situationally changing how you speak, and black people have this superpower where they talk differently in a job interview scenario versus on the streets. And I just want to point out for everybody out there in the audience that that is not a superpower. Everybody does that. Everybody has a more casual way of speaking, and they have a more formal way of speaking in formal settings. But the thing is, this isn't switching it up. It's not speaking one way in certain scenarios and speaking other ways in more formal scenarios. This is all of a sudden, out of nowhere, how Jasmine Crockett speaks. She does this in interviews, she does this on video, she does this in the halls of Congress during congressional meetings. She speaks completely differently 100% of the time. The switch was now she's a Democrat looking for national attention, and she thinks black is in, so she's going with the heavy black accent, but in reality, that was her normal speaking cadence in all the different various interviews that she participated in and all her different Texas House actions that she participated in before she was elected to Congress. So again, this is a major flip, a major switch. It's a 180 in the exact opposite direction. What this is actually representative of is an overall trend among Democrats that is not seen among Republicans, which shows that Democrats tend to change the way that they speak, i.e. dumbing down the way that they speak when they're talking to minority audiences or who they expect to be minority audiences versus how they speak when they're talking to white audiences. And you could say whatever you want about having somebody represent you and speak like you and connect with you or whatever, but in reality, in actuality, what's happening is Jasmine Crockett is thinking in her mind that the black voters are dumber on average than the white voters, and she is supported largely by a black voting base. Therefore, she's speaking in a way that she knows makes her come off as less intelligent. It is insanely disrespectful to those voters. And again, Republicans do not change up how they speak when they're talking to black voters, Latin voters, and all these different other various people. And to be clear, there is an element of performative in politics that we all understand. Trump did not literally get a job at McDonald's serving people chicken nuggets. This was done as a stunt, but when the stunt becomes your whole identity, it just reaches a level beyond absurdity. When you're doing this time and time again, and it's so different, so diametrically opposed from who you are, from who you actually are, how you actually speak, it's absolutely shameful from top to bottom. So yeah, make her the leader of the Democratic Party. Put her out in front of you in order to pander to black people, but I can tell you, based on recent history, this has not worked out for the Democratic Party. Kamala Harris, again, somebody who grew up in an Indian household in Canada, who does not talk like this, tried this throughout her whole career, her failed 2020 campaign.
The environment is vital. Killmonger may have ruined and burned your field of heart-shaped herbs, but don't worry. I'm from California. I can repopulate that field with a bunch of different herbs. To the lovely people of Wakanda, I know you will make the right choice. And as always, Wakanda forever. Paid for by Kamala Harris.
And again, her failed 2024 presidential campaign, and all it got her was ridicule because people understand innately that this is fake. This is fraudulent. When Kamala Harris talks about collard greens and pretends to be the super black, the most black person to ever black in the history of black.
That was me in my suit and heels walking through Charleston International Airport carrying 2 big plastic bags full of fresh South Carolina collard greens. It's a true story. And yes, as I walked on the plane, there were a few people who gave me the look and the nod. right, Marlon? So I know how to make a mean pot of greens. In fact, people used to ask me to make greens for them for Christmas. One year, I had so many that I had to wash that we ended up washing them in the bathtub. So I am not playing around. So what you got?
We all understand that that is not a realistic representation of who she is. It's actually absurd.
Adam, BP, I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they not like us.
They not.
So yeah, while a lot of people don't have context for Jasmine Crockett and they've essentially taken the bait that she sounds this uneducated and ridiculous, in reality, I understand who she is. She's the rich kid role-playing as somebody in poverty. She's a spoiled brat who never really faced any struggles throughout the course of her life, pretending to be down in the mud, down in the dirt with the people, and in reality, we have the super mayor who actually speaks like this, who actually acts like this, so we are not going to take this poor substitute, this poor copy of her at face value.
False allegations and not facts.
Also, I will add on top of that Jasmine Crockett comes from a really good family, a really good black family, two parents that are together, that were able to provide for her and set her up for success throughout the course of her life, and I think it is disrespectful to her parents, to the family that she came from, to the values that they instilled in her, that made her a success, for her to pretend and LARP as this ghetto person that was among a single mom that had 25 kids and was on welfare when nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, her actual story is more impressive in my opinion, but unfortunately that doesn't play in today's America, so you have to ham it up and be in costume all the time, and I just find that to be absurd. So while a lot of people will take the bait and just call her the most ghetto ratchet member of Congress, I won't, because I understand it's fake, it's fraudulent. She's the rich kid playing poor. That's what's happening right here. But again, those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. If you like this video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social medias, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about Jasmine Crockett being an absolute fraud. Till next time.